In this video, I'm finally doing a review about Joshua Williamson's Flash run. So just let's get into it, shall we? I'm gonna start with volume 1 to volume 8 and then I will do the rest of it later. In the same video, of course. Let's begin with volume 1, Lightning Strikes Twice, and this trade paperback collects The Flash Rebirth number 1 and The Flash issue 1 to 8. And it's the start of the Rebirth Flash run by Joshua Williamson. This book has the first appearance of Godspeed, which in the start, in the beginning, he's a friend to Barry Allen, but later on just becomes a villain and betray Barry and even the city, I would say, honestly. And yeah, the reason I began to read the Flash comics and especially this run is because of the Flash TV show. I guess it all started in season 6, I think it was, when Bloodwork was introduced in the show, and he's first introduced in this run in, I think it's volume 5, if I'm not misremembering. I actually liked him in the show and I liked him in the books as well, in the comics. I'm not really gonna talk so much spoiler stuff, so I think we should continue to volume 2. And volume 2 is Speed of Darkness, and it collects issue 9 to 13. Sorry if I can't pronounce it, but I'm from Sweden, okay? Sue me. And I think this is the reintroduction of that villain. I don't remember his name, it was a long time ago, really, I read this, but maybe it says here somewhere. I'm not so sure. Yeah, the Shade. It's the reintroduction of that villain, and yeah, the Shade, and you can really see here what it's all about, I guess. Shadows and stuff like that, nightmares even, maybe. I really I like this story, but I didn't really like the art, if I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. It's just not my style, but otherwise the story was actually great. In this run we begin to see more of Wallace West, I think his name is. Yeah, we see more of Kid Flash again, and he wasn't really around in the new 52 except, or I mean, he got introduced in maybe volume 6, 7 or something in that period of time, but he wasn't really a speedster then. Only became it later on in this run, in this timeline. So let's go to volume 3. Which is Rogues Reloaded, and it collects issue 14 to 20. And here we see, as you can see on the cover, Captain Cold. Snart again. And even the Rogues, as the title says. And I like this kind of old art style. But I'm glad it wasn't in the whole book, because yeah, once again, it's not my style, but at the same time I can still appreciate it, you know. But yeah, it was really fun to see the rogues again, and I really liked them in the New 52 also, but here we see them more with power again, maybe. I don't know. It's just a whole different atmosphere, and yeah, it's more amazing than the New 52 in my opinion, at least. And yeah, later on in this book we see a story about what's his name again? I think it was in this book. Or was it maybe in another one? Yeah, this guy. I don't really remember his name, if I'm gonna be honest. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, I don't know actually. But anyway, I like this story a lot, and yeah, it's kind of standalone, I think, and it continues a story about Daniel West, apparently. And he even gets to live on a little bit in the Rebirth era too. I figured out when reading this, because I don't really read the Suicide Squad stuff, and I think he appeared in that. We get the feeling of here, at least, that he does. And yeah, the black hole stuff continues, and yeah, I think it continues to at least maybe volume 5 or 7 or something, I don't know. It wasn't my favorite arc, but it's spread out, yeah, in most of the books, and I appreciate what he was trying to do, but yeah, it wasn't really my favorite thing, and maybe it should have just been one book, maybe, instead of spread out, but yeah, that's just my opinion. And let's continue to volume 4, Running Scared. And finally we get to see more of the Reverse Flash. And this trade paperback collects the Flash issue 23 to 27. And in this book we see the Flash connecting to the negative Speed Force somehow, I think. And we also see this little crossover, I guess you could say, between the Flash and Green Lantern too, which was nice. Not gonna lie. In this book though, I would say the interesting stuff really begins when the Reverse Flash appears. Which, I guess actually is in the beginning. So yeah, forget what I said, he's in the whole book. And we also see the Flash Museum in the future, I think, and that's cool actually. I really like when we see future Flash books in the comics, and yeah, really in the TV show too, whenever that was happening, which wasn't a lot, but still it was nice, amazing even. And we see the Tornado Twins and future Barry Allen too, which connects to year 1. Maybe not this book in year 1, but later book in year 1 at least. Yeah, and here we see the Flash being connected to a negative speed force, I think. And as I said, that continues to volume 5, negative, which collects issue 28 to 32 and a story from DC Holiday Special 2017, number 1. This is the first appearance of Bloodwork, and I'm not sure if he appears in future trade paperbacks comics, but yeah, we get to see him here, and I'm pretty sure he gets defeated in the same book, which is nice. He was a good villain, and I don't really like the art here again. It's kind of, I don't know if it's too realistic or if it's something else that I just don't like about it. I don't really like how Barry looks in this art too, by Neil Googe. Sorry if I don't pronounce it right. No offense to his art, but it's just not my style once again. Hehe. But I really liked how the Flash looked in his art style, especially with this negative speed force too. That I can appreciate actually, so I'm glad he did the art for this issue, or story arc, I guess. And I really liked how Bloodwork looked too. Overall, I really like this book. And I think Barry disconnects from the negative speed force either in this book or the next one. And the next book is volume 6, Cold Day in Hell. And that collects issue 34 to 38 and annual number 1. And here we see Captain Cold again, and I think it's a story more about him now rather than the rogues. But first, it seems to be a story about Black Hole and the Mina, which first appeared in volume 1, 2, which was a friend or even together with Barry first, but then the negative speed force took over, or if it was the black hole maybe, or both, because I think the black hole and kinda corrupted her with the negative speed force maybe. Once again, it was a long time I read it, but yeah, I don't think I misremembered that. Yeah, but here is Captain Cold, and yeah, we kind of see the rogues again too. But it seems to be centered around Captain Cold. At least in the last arc here. And here is the... yeah, I think it's a setup to Flash War, Volume 8. And that also happens in Volume 7. The trade paperback before. This kinda looked like the Scooby-Doo bus. Not gonna lie. Where is it? Now I'm trying to find it. Oh, was just the colors, I guess. Yeah, but this is a setup to Flash War, and here is what's her name? Frankie, but what's her villain name? Magenta, I think. Pretty sure. Yeah, it is. And I don't know if it was her first appearance, but yeah, she also was in the Jeff Jones run about the Flash. Let's continue over to Volume 7, Perfect Storm, and here we see Gorilla Grodd again. And this collects issue 39 to 45. And here we see Grodd taking over Central City, and we also see Godspeed again. And Grodd kinda takes over all the speedsters through the Speed Force, because he connects to the Speed Force somehow. So they kind of fight against Barry Allen. But of course Grodd gets defeated. And I don't remember how, but yeah, once again this sets up the Flash War between, I think it's mainly Wally West and Barry Allen. I really like this art and image. The good speedsters and kind of the bad ones, or at least Godspeed. I'm not so sure about Mina. And here's the aftermatch of Perfect Storm. Oh, here we see Robin. Is this Damian? Or is it Tim Drake? I'm not sure. Oh, I really like this image too. It's beautiful art. I'm not sure who did this. Maybe it says in the beginning of the issue. Yeah, Christian Dues. And colors Luis Guerrero. Yeah, it's nice art, actually. And let's continue to Volume 8. Flash War. A war between Wally West and Barry Allen mainly, I think. And I'm not sure how it started. But it collects issue 46 to 51 and a story from the Flash Annual number 1. Didn't the Flash Annual 1 appear or was in another book too? I think so, but anyway. It seems like the Rogues have a role in this too. And yeah, Hunter Solomon too. Professor Zoom, or maybe that's Ebert, I don't know. Zoom, at least. But also a Reverse Flash. In the Flash TV show he was just Zoom. I think it was Hunter Solomon who corrupted Wally. Or maybe the Speed Force in a way, which led to them fighting. And Hunter wants to be like, or maybe pretends to be the Flash. Barry Allen, I don't know. I don't remember much about these issues or story arc, since it was maybe 2 years ago I read this, maybe 3. Yeah, this is Hunter pretending to be the Flash and even uses the old Flash costume by Barry Allen. Or yeah, his costume, old one. This was cool actually. And this, I don't know, I don't think it's Captain Cold. I think it's from the future. I'm not so sure. The variant covers are really cool too. Nowadays this almost looks like AI, but yeah, it's not. It's not AI. Look at this, the famous variant cover. It's pretty famous, I have seen it so much online at least. And I really like this too. Two statues of Barry and Wally as the Flash. And that was the first part of the review. Now let's get over to the second one. And this is the part where they use this black, or yeah, maybe not black layout, but they removed the rebirth text in the covers and kinda goes over to what is it called? Not this glancy paper, more dry. I don't really know, I'm sorry. But yeah, let's continue this second and last part. And let's begin with volume 9, Reckoning of the Forces. And this collects issue 52 to 57. And here we begin to see the forces too. And this, I think this is the strange force, yeah. And we actually see the trickster connect to that force, which was interesting. I mean, the Forces arc, just like the TV show in season 7, mainly, I don't really like the Forces arc so much, and the same goes to the comics Forces arc. But I appreciate what Joshua created, or yeah, wrote, even if I don't like it as much as the other arcs in this run. He tried to create something new, I guess, which was 50-50, not really that great, but not really bad either, I guess. I'm not gonna say so much about this. I'm not gonna say so much about this book. I don't think it was that fun. But once again, it was a long time I read it, so maybe my opinion about it changed, who knows? Maybe future will tell. We will see. Let's get to volume 10, The Secret History of the Speed Force, or yeah, the main title, Force Quest. And this is when they removed the volume 2 in the title, which kinda is confusing, but it is on the back too, and of course in the book as always, but yeah, it began to be more confusing about which volume the books were, but yeah, otherwise it was nice actually. It kinda looks more cleaner and I appreciate that. And in this book, Barry Allen goes on a quest to find out the secrets about the Speed Force. And I think... is this the Sage Force? Yeah, we see the Sage Force, which is all about mind thinking, I think. I don't know. And we also see, I think, Gorilla City, which pretty much got destroyed by the Sage Force users here. I'm not really, once again, I'm not really a fan of this whole story arc about the forces. I really like his design, though. Now maybe you see it better. I don't remember what his name is, though. But yeah, I'm not gonna say so much about this either, because it's not really interesting, for me at least. Maybe you like it better, more, I don't know. And that's okay, but it's just not for me. So let's continue to volume 11. Yeah, 11. The greatest trick of all, and here we see the trickster again. And the art in this book is mainly from Scott Collins, which did a lot of the art in Jeff Jones' run of the Flash too. And this book collects is issue 66 to 69 and annual number 2. And I think we see Godspeed here also. I'm not sure in what context it is, but yeah, I like this book, but yeah, you're gonna hear a lot from me that the art is not for me. I mean, it's not the best art for me, in my opinion, but it still works, not gonna lie. And here we see the beginning of the end, you could say. I think it's Paradox, I think his name was, which, yeah, we begin to see more about him in the Flash age. That story is pretty much about him. And the beginning of the end, which is finish line of, yeah, the end of Joshua Williamson's Flash run. But yeah, here we see more about Trickster's backstory too. His life in the circus. And parents, I think. And we also see the rogues a little bit, but not so much. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of this book either, but it's okay, I think. Not the best. The second part of his Joshua Williamson's Flash run isn't really that good, or not as good as the first part at least. But it's still good or okay. But yeah, it's not the best. And this is volume 12, Death and the Speed Force. And it collects issues 76 to 81. And here we see Black Flash again, which I think it tries to hunt down Barry Allen for some reason. And now I accidentally started my computer again, so be right back. Sorry about that. Now let's continue. And we also see this force user. I think it's the main strange force user. Is his name Bishop? Or is it something else maybe? The Sage Force user at least. That much I know. And here we see the rogues seems to be much older now, and it's actually a setup to the next issue or a story arc. Rogue's Reign. And here in the later part of the book we see Hunter Solomon again and more Black Flash. And it's really just, I guess, a setup to the end, as I said. And here we see that Hunter Solomon manipulated the timeline. It's kinda a retcon, I guess. Or maybe it was Reverse Flash who manipulated the timeline so Hunter became Zoom. I don't know. This villain at least. So yeah. Let's go to volume 13. Rogue's Reign. And yeah, it's the last story-centric arc about the rogues. I guess you could say their endgame or something like that. And I don't remember much of this book, but I really like the art, except how the Flash's face looks sometimes. But otherwise it was great. And I'm not gonna say so much about this book either, and honestly I don't remember that much about it either. So let's just continue to volume 14, The Flash Age. And here we see Paradox backstory, how he came to be, and I think it was Barry Allen's fault somehow. And this trade paperback collects issue 8 to 8, and then they did a renumber situation, I don't know. So it is issue 750 to 755, and the Flash Annual number 3. Maybe I pronounce it wrong, but yeah, I'm sorry if that's so. Yeah, here we see Paradox's backstory. And then the beginning of the book we see a crossover between the Flash and this Suicide Squad team 2, I think. Captain Boomerang, by the way, is his name, I think. Captain Boomerang. I don't know how I didn't remember that, but anyway. And this is the beginning of the Flash Age, and I would say it was a great story arc, but I think Finish Line is even better, to be honest. I'm gonna be honest and say I don't have much to say about this. Here we kind of see the armor on the Flash suit, rather. Yeah, it kind of looks like the Flash suit from the movies, live action movies. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that suit, but here it's okay. I mean, it's not like it's his whole suit or that he switches over to it. It's just armor for this scenario for some reason, which I don't remember, but it's probably a good one. I really like this art, this page of the Reverse Flash. He just looks so evil here, and I mean, he is. So, makes sense, not gonna lie. It's really a setup to the finish line. And here we see Captain Cold again, I think. And Godspeed and Paradox, and it's kind of the end of Paradox. And then it just sets up finish line. And Reverse Flash and Flash teamed up in this book too. Now I remember. And if I'm not misremembering, I think Eobard killed Godspeed too. Somewhere. I'm trying to find it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it is this one. And I remember when the Flash Season 7 finale aired too, and Reverse Flash didn't kill Godspeed in that scene, but yeah, it was kinda an adaptation from this comic, from this arc image page, I guess. I don't know. Some type of adaptation at least. So let's go to the last book by Joshua Williamson's Flash Run. Volume 15, Finish Line. And this is the end of the Rebirth Flash era, and then we switches creative team to Jeremy Adams and yeah, the artists that are on his books. It's not just one artist, so yeah. Oopsie. I really like this Flash Run's conclusion, and I think the artworks also in this book. Next, Flash versus Flash, and I think it's Hunter Solomon taking over Flash's face, or was it Eobard maybe who did it? I don't remember. This almost looks like the Red Death, but yeah, it's not, but kind of looks like a version of him, but I don't think it is, but it's cool. And here the Flash family are together again. And it's the end of this Flash run. And yeah, here Barry forgives Eobard too for pretty much killing his mother. Yeah, I guess that gives Barry peace, but if I'm gonna be honest, I don't really think forgiveness is the... I mean, yeah, I don't think it's necessarily the right thing, or not a must at least, but yeah, it's nice that Barry had the will, had the strength to do it. And here, after defeating the Reverse Flash once and for all, or is it? Anyway, here we see a last mini-story arc about, I guess, just Barry and Iris. Yeah. And here we see Barry's mother's ghost too. Or maybe it's a vision, I'm not sure. But yeah, this is the finish line, the end of Joshua Williamson's Flash run. And I'm sorry to break it down, but I don't have the year 1 comic book, but I would like to get it someday, but yeah, just to have it, but I know the story. But yeah, it will be nice to read it sometimes, but yeah, we will see about that. Maybe if I get it sometime, I could do a review or something like that about it. We will see. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please like the video and maybe comment your opinions about this Flash run, and maybe comment and write what videos I should do in the future. Yeah, about comic books then, of course. Maybe more reviews or something like that. About both DC, Marvel, maybe even Star Wars. And yeah, I think I'm gonna do a review about Jeremy Adams' Flash run now that it's over too. But yeah, we will see when that happens, but yeah, I promise I will do that sometimes in the future. At least. Sometime. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Take care. See you in the next one. Bye bye.